Hello and welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Great to have you here. We're going to take a look at this watch today. The Pagani Design PD-1662. You might recognise it. It's obviously a homage to the Rolex. I believe it's the GMT Master 2. Really nice watch. Now, I got this off AliExpress. Now, I did an unboxing to this. I'll put a link up to that in the corner. And I kept calling it a Batman. And then Benny's News reached out and said, actually, it's a Batgirl because it's on the Jubilee bracelet. I didn't realise that. Benny's absolutely right. I did a bit of research. It's affectionately known as the Batgirl. So we'll call it Batgirl from now on. Really nice watch. Now, as I say, I got it from AliExpress for about £70. What's that, $80? Now, this is a mechanical watch, and this is the Pearl version. The DG3804B Pearl movement, because it's a GMT. Now, I bought this down to a little bit of lack of research, actually. I bought it without realising, and then found out that they've also got a Seiko NH34 version, which has just come out. Now, that is a bit more expensive. I'll put links to both in the description. Have a look, see which one you prefer to get. Some of you might prefer to get the Seiko NH34 version. But it's a great watch. As I say, I'll put links to both of those in the description. So let's take a look at what we get for our money. Right, so now we've established this is a Batgirl and not a Batman. Let's take a quick look at the other colours in this range. So I'll put a picture up of all of them rather than put them up individually, because there's quite a few because of the bracelet options. So you've got a 3-link bracelet and the Jubilee bracelet. There's a black bezel, there's a Batman, there's a Coke, there's a Pepsi. I think there's a root beer, if I can find a picture of that as well. As I say, there's lots of options in this particular one. Now, this is the Pearl version, as I say. I'm not sure you've got all those options yet in the NH34, but have a look on the link and see what you think. So plenty of options with this watch. Now, this watch, I've got to say, is really well built. Again, it's a Pagani design, so you would expect that. So dimensions-wise, we've got 40 millimeters in diameter. I believe that's true to the original one, so most people with a wrist 8-inch or lower will have no problem wearing that, I would have thought. Now, strap width is 20 mil, although I don't think you'll really be swapping the strap on this one, but you might want to. Now, lug to lug on this is 47.7 mil. Now, it's a very flat watch as well. The lugs don't really hook over at the end, as you can see here, so it does sit quite flat on the wrist. Thickness, 14 millimeters thick, and then weight wise it's quite a weighty watch at 146 grams, so it is a bit weighty. There's a lot of weight in the top of that, and people who like a weighty watch will probably like the balance on this watch, with it being slightly heavier on the body of the watch. It sits really nicely. So being a Pagani design, you know that this watch is going to be really well built. I mean, it's a 316L stainless steel full build, so it's really nice, got some real weight to it. Crystal, sapphire, just see some AR coating on there. Now there's a Cyclops on that crystal, and I think the standard magnification is about 2.5, 3 times. Oh, if you do know the answer to that, leave a comment. This one just seems a little big for my liking. I prefer to watch without a Cyclops, I think. And I appreciate this is going to have one because it's a homage, but it just feels like this one's a little too big on this particular one. But anyway, it's a screw down crown. Functionality, let's pop it all the way out. Pop it all the way out to adjust the time. Push it in 1. If you go up, it'll wind it. Oh, hang on, I've gone in 2. Sorry. So if I go up, it will change the date, and if I go down, it changes the GMT hand. And as I say, full screw down crown, helping with that 100 meters of water resistance. Oh, it's a bit stiff. Actually, I didn't have any problems getting that in earlier on. There we go, it's going there. There we go. Really nice to have a screw down crown. Finishing wise, soft sort of matte brushing just on the body of the watch as it meets onto the bracelet. We've got that really nice bezel, as I say, for the Batgirl, but you've got lots of different versions. Coin edge bezel, rotates, 120 click, and I must admit the action on this one is one of the best that I've had. Really nice and clicky. There is a little bit of back play until it locks into place. But yeah, really nice. Really like that. Great looking watch. So dial wise, as you would expect, because it's a homage, I believe it's a total copy of that dial with the circular applied indices at the minute markers. Those are broken with the 6 and the 9 being elongated rectangles, triangle at the 12, Pagani Design printed above the pinion, then GMT water resistant 100 meters, or WR 100, sorry, oh bar 100 meters below the pinion, and then we've got the date and the Cyclops there at the 3. Matte black dial, sets it off really nicely. We've got a Mercedes style hour hand, sword style minute hand, and then the needle seconds hand with that LUME pip. And then we've got the GMT hand highlighted in blue, again with LUME on, which is obviously useful in the dark. Again, that's to match the blue of the dial and the print on the dial. Obviously that does vary by what dial that you go for and what version that you go for. Now the LUME on this is pale blue. I don't know if that's correct with the GMT Master 2. Passes my 3am test quite nicely. This is one of the better Paganis that I've had for LUME. Some of the others have been quite weak on the LUME, but this one's really quite good. I'll put a picture of that up in the corner. And then, as I say, 100 meters worth of water resistance. It's a really nice finish. All the finishing is really good. You'd be very pleased for the money that you spent on this. So case back wise, a nice open display case, as you can see. Screw down, giving us that 100 meters of water resistance, which is etched onto the back. Pagani Design, stainless steel. A little bit of decoration on the rotor blade there, which is nice and simple. I know most people won't see that anyway. Now the blade itself, I don't get any noise or any vibration when that's rotating, which is nice. I think these pearl movements are good for the money that you pay for them. As I say, the NH34 might be better. I'm not saying it isn't, but yeah, really impressed with it so far. The case back looks lovely and finishes the watch off really nicely. And we've also just got that soft matte finish just onto the back of the case as well. Now bracelet wise, I went for the Jubilee one, as I stated, making it the Batgirl rather than the Batman. I wanted that just because I wanted a different style of bracelet. The bracelet's really nice. Again, solid stainless steel. We've got matte brushing just on the outside, and then slightly more polished in the centre 3 links, giving it that unique look that you get with the Jubilee. Pagani Design on the clasp. Now I have had some issues with this clasp. Not the easiest to do and undo. So we've got a security pusher here, a flipper even. Then you have to pop that just there to pop it open. There we go, and it pops open. Now, one of the issues I had with this was the 2 holes of micro adjust that are on here. And let me just show you. I cannot move this pin, which is what you need to move, despite watching several videos, to adjust the micro adjust. I've tried several things. I've even broken one of my pick tools doing it, but it's just stiff, and so I'm not going to push it anymore in case I bend that pin. But that might just be my particular model, I think. Pop that there. Looks really nice. Oh, I meant to mention solid links where it meets the body of the watch, which is really nice. I don't know if you'd ever really swap this one out. Now the only thing I would say is this particular look, the Jubilee, is probably not for maybe the younger guys. I don't know. You let me know. Would you wear this as a Jubilee? I think there's a particular look that you go with on that. But the bracelet matches the rest of the watch and is really well built. So here it is on wrist. Now I've got an 8-inch wrist and I didn't need to make any adjustments to this. As I say, I did try and adjust this micro adjust, but I had an issue with it. I think that's possibly down to my not being good at small things rather than it's a problem with the watch. But I left it as it is and it fits really nice on my wrist. I think it looks really good if you're after that style of watch. Couple of niggles. I do think that Cyclops is a little bit on the large side. Again, I had an issue with the clasp as well, but other than that, it's a really solid watch. You're not going to be disappointed for the money that you've paid for it, and there's a lot of choice in that particular range. Now you could pick the pearl one like this one, as I say, I'll put a link in the description, or you might go with the Seiko, the newer one, but it is more expensive. Again, I'll put a link in the description, but you won't be disappointed with this watch. Now if that's not your style of watch, this one might be. This nice Seiko Solar that I did a review of recently, I'll put a link up in the corner to that. Thanks to everybody who's watched, subscribed and commented, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.